All right. Last session before the best session, obviously. So Glyn's part of the conference. Ferdy started the day talking about partnerships, and I think there is no better way to introduce the next speaker, actually. Tommaso Migliore, fellow Italian, as you might have guessed, and CEO and co-founder of M.M, who are a global provider of artificial intelligence to investment businesses like ourselves, and in fact a partner of choice to introduce AI into our investment process. Now, we've worked together for about a year, give or take. We've grown together, we've learned from each other. It's been a very interesting journey. And I think now we're really well positioned to start adding value to our portfolios thanks to advanced analytics, thanks to the ability to analyze and infer on fast-moving global markets, on many asset classes. You've heard it from Jennison yesterday, you've heard it from Robico. AI is no longer a buzzword, it's reality. So, please welcome Tommaso, who's going to drive us through the interesting world of AI, which apparently is not going to replace humans, but it's certainly going to help humans be better off. I really believe that success for businesses and investors is about innovation, constant innovation, and in fact partnerships with the right people. So welcome, Tommaso.
Thank you, everyone. So today we're going to cover a couple of things. Who we are, of course, what we've done, the great work we've done with Lorenzo, Andy, Ferdi, Steph, and Alex, and the team at Momentum, which is very interesting, how they integrated AI and how they're integrating AI in their investment process, and especially what is for real AI. Hopefully, when I leave the room, you have a little bit of a better understanding what is AI and how it can be used. Okay, so let me start it on who am I. I am the founder of a company which is called M.M. Okay, we're a fintech company. We believe in science-rooted investment decision. Okay, we just happen to apply the artificial intelligence because it's a better math to work within the complexity of the financial market than traditional econometrics. Okay, and we believe that these two gentlemen are absolutely right. These are Ray Dalio, Kenneth Griffin. They both have been using AI in parallel to their portfolio managers for many, many years. Okay, that's why we founded the business. Who are we in numbers? We're a team of about 120 people. This comprises both our team and our lab. We have a research center in partnership with 6 universities in which we conduct base research around artificial intelligence and the different applications. Okay, what do? We support organizations such as Momentum to integrate AI in their investment process. These are some of our clients. We've been working for them. We've been around for now 8 years, so definitely not a newcomers for what it comes to artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence takes time to develop. Okay, it's not something that you can do overnight. So before we get started, I actually have a short video to show you what we do.
The world is becoming more complex every day, and financial markets are not immune to the explosion in data and information. Today, the main challenge of any investment professional is to sift through data and cut through complexity to make clear, objective, and forward-looking decisions. Now, imagine a technology that can access a deeper dimension of data and help you see through today's market dynamics. M.M is introducing Sphere. We created a platform that allows you to combine your experience with state-of-the-art artificial intelligence. Our AI is trained to learn as a human would do. It uses millions of examples to infer non-linear cause and effect relationships in market behaviors. Every day, Sphere analyzes all listed securities, gathering information from macro, fundamental, and market dynamics, such as how a sudden hike in interest rates could alter risk premia, or how sector correlations could evolve in different scenarios. We blend all this with the daily analysis of market regimes and their forecasted evolutions to help you shape your risk and return expectations. Sphere brings customization to scale by helping you design portfolios in every aspect and integrate complex constraints, investment objectives, and views. Experience assisted rebalancing. Define how much to change your portfolio and where it should be headed, Our technology will do the heavy lifting and create adaptive portfolios that reflect potential changes in market conditions. Start integrating AI in your investment process with the most advanced no-code solution. Start integrating Sphere. Enter the future of investments.
What is artificial intelligence, and why are we talking about artificial intelligence today? We're talking about artificial intelligence because the world we live in, it's becoming more complex every day. In fact, if you think about it, back in the day, the problem was gathering information. Now the problem is making sense of all the abundance of information we have every day. That's why we're talking about AI. We're also talking about AI because suddenly we have the opportunity to do it, because the computer got faster and better through cloud computing and computing power. And at the same time, the theory behind how a system can actually learn something is there. Before, we had a rough idea on how to do it, right? So ultimately, AI has to be able to help to solve this problem. This is what everyone in the investment world is facing every day. We're looking at a painting, we're looking at a monitor, we're looking at a screening, and we're trying to understand really what's going beyond, right? To get that full picture. So hopefully, AI can help us to work better with data that maybe we're not looking at, or at a deeper level within the same data that we look at, to kind of help us to get the full picture. That's really the goal. What is the benefit of artificial intelligence compared to traditional models, to traditional econometrics? First, it works very well where there is a rising complexity. If the system is very simple, there's no need to use AI. But if the system is complex, then AI has definitely an edge. Secondly, it can adapt as it can learn nonlinear relationship, okay, better. So connecting distant dots, we're going to see this, a little bit better in a sec. Okay, connect distant dots within data set better. And then finally, adapt as condition change or market change. The adaptability has two folds. One side is adapting to new change in markets, dynamic, and in data. The second thing is adapting to different use cases. And this allows really to create something that is personalized to each use cases. Every investment firm has their own characteristic when it comes down to the investment process. Their own, something they're really good at, right? So you want to make sure that that gets preserved. So that's why the adaptability is really important also from a user perspective, not just from a data perspective. Now, let's get into the real deal. Everybody has been talking about generative AI so much, I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure that you guys understand what is generative AI, what is AI in general, okay? The world of AI, artificial intelligence, for the sake of being on the same page, is this. If a model, an equation is y equals to beta times the first variable plus beta times the second variable, and so on and so forth, that's a model, that's a statistical model. We can call machine learning when some of these variables are self-determined. When a lot of these machine learning algorithm works in conjunct together with one another, we can call this AI, okay? At least we have a little bit of a common understanding. Now, what is the difference between generative AI, which is what everybody has been talking about, and what we can call analytical AI? So, at the very core, it's the same thing. Artificial intelligence tries to find within a large data set connection between data points, right? Patterns within this depth of data. The analytical AI that you see on the left-hand side of the screen uses these patterns to make a forecast, to make a prediction, to decompose. After it learns the patterns, it tries to understand what the scenario is today and how I can use the patterns that I find, which maybe are not timely linked, okay, to predict what's going on in the near future and then adapt as market change. That's why it can be used to create forecasting, to analyze data, and so on and so forth. Generative AI, what does it do? What does it do? It does the same thing. It learns from past patterns and data connection, but it uses those patterns to create something new, like a word, like a picture, like a video. That's why generative AI, such as ChatGPT, is useless in finance. It's useless to create a forecast because the deep idea behind ChatGPT is I can use something that I've learned to recombine to create something new. That is why it's called generative AI. at least at a high level, okay? So, but both of them can actually have a very interesting use in finance when actually put together. We're going to cover that at the end of my talk and see where the market is going. So what are some examples of this analytical AI? Of course, we've been doing analytical AI for the past 8 years. There are different companies that do similar things. When it comes down to generative AI, the first name is ChatGPT. There are many others out there as well. Now, why I think it's very important that we have this talk today and that you guys are really getting the feeling of what AI is. Because we live in an era of AI democratization. Every complex technology at the very beginning is used exclusively by the people who build that technology. I always make this analogy. Think about the beginning of last century. The Wright brothers. They were the one building the planes. They were the one flying the planes. 60 years ago, the first computers, the people building their computers were the one using the computers. Right? But then this complex technology, at a certain point, they reach a maturity level when you can pick the technology and put it in a software, in a product, in a solution for a vast majority of people to use it. Okay? With artificial intelligence, this is what's happening now. Up until a year ago, 2 years ago, the only people who could use AI were the coders themselves, the researchers, people putting their hands on the code. Now, we see great change in the world of products, etc., when that maturity point gets reached. Because suddenly, experts in the field can use this technology to do something better, something new. Okay? So that's why it's really important that you guys understand the moment in which we're in and what are the opportunities. Because suddenly, everybody can use AI to do something better. I always make an analogy with the iPhone, okay? If you think about it, because often people think the technology is the answer. The technology is an enabler, is a tool, right? In 2007, when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone, the technology to produce the iPhone was there for everybody. It was not a proprietary secret sauce that only Apple had. What Apple had was the ability to combine these tools together to create a great product. That's why you have to pay attention to the world of AI, because in every area of your businesses, maybe there are opportunities that can be spotted to create that iPhone moment, okay? So that's what I was referring. Before, now. This is now. You're the pilot. You can use it in different areas, okay? I'm going to give you a couple of examples on how this AI democratization is unfolding. The first one is with ChatGPT. Everybody knows who ChatGPT is, what it is. Raise your hands if you don't. Has everybody tried ChatGPT? Everybody? Okay, couple of examples. Anyone willing to give an example to the audience? Okay, I'm going to give you one. What you can ask ChatGPT is to write a non-disclosure agreement. Now, the interesting thing about AI compared to traditional model is that once it creates something, you can actually interact with it. And you can make, for example, make the terms of the agreement 3 years. That's the adaptability I was talking about. The chance of using this technology to do something more personalized, right? That's an easy one. Who knows Midjourney, what it is? Anybody? No. Midjourney is an AI to do image processing. Okay? I'm showing this example because it's very fascinating. This is what a friend of mine, she's a graphic designer, she had to design a cover of a magazine. So what she did, rather than doing everything herself, she went on Midjourney, which is this AI, and she said, generate a new image based off of the style of the one attached. But this is one of people's skin on the mountains with a chalet on the background. And then she uploaded how she likes to draw people herself. Then, this was the first output. Now, bear in mind, this is not an image that it's somewhere in the web, right? This is a new image that got created. Now, it's not perfect. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a floating mountain. People are sunbathing on the snow. There's a floating boat in the sky. So it's not perfect. So she went back. She made some adjustment. She said, make it more of a skiing party in front of a chalet, etc., etc. Gave some, some adjustments. And after a while, this was the output. Then she inputted this into Photoshop, made some corrections, then color corrected, and finally it became the cover of a magazine. Now the interesting thing is this one. Was it designed by the human? Was it designed by the AI? What is produced by the human? What is produced by the AI? It was done together. So often people think the AI is here to replace us. No, somebody capable of using AI will, because it opens up new opportunities. But really, you can only leverage this opportunity if you know what you're doing, if you're an expert of the field. That's why we're talking about this AI democratization. My friend, she's not able to code herself. She's a graphic designer, but she has a great taste. I personally like this a lot. But she has a great taste of, from a graphic perspective. Still, she can leverage it to do something new, something better, something faster. Okay? Where this applies to the world of investment. Now, if we simplify a lot, the world of investment is based on two things. One is the idea generation. That's probably one of the hardest things to do. That's what the investment team does, okay? Andy, Lorenzo, Stefan, Alex, all these guys, their tough job is every day to sit down and understand what's unfolding in front of them and how the world might evolve. That's the idea, right? And then you have to convert this into a portfolio, the portfolio construction phase, which is getting the best out of those insights that you might have. Now, where can AI add value? First of all, we have to decompose these two alpha component, okay? We can call the idea generation the forecasting alpha, which is really the ability of making the right calls. And we can call the portfolio construction the portfolio construction alpha, the part in which we extrapolate the maximum out of the views that we have. Now, where can AI add value, and what are we doing with the team at Momentum? We are supporting them at this stage within the forecasting phase and the intuition, the idea generation. By doing what? We trained and we customized our model to produce indicators and signal to support their investment efforts. Okay? And this is quite intuitive. The team of Momentum is looking at a lot of things. They have a lot of views and ideas, etc. And our AI, within that framework, helps them to see things that maybe they're not looking at every day, or they're not looking at with the same eyes, to complement their effort. The second part in which AI can add value is transferring these insights into an actionable portfolio. And this is especially interesting if you think in the benefit at scale. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the detail, but think about this. Having a view on the world, it's one thing. Making sure that that view transpire into multiple portfolios at scale that reflect that view, that they're coherent with constraint, preference, investable universe, and so on and so forth, it's another game. We enter into the space of the optimization, how you can get the maximum out of that view. That's the second step, probably, which is really being able to integrate fully in the process so that you can transfer the views at scale for multiple portfolios. And this has multiple opportunities, because it has the opportunity to support fund management, portfolio management, even advisory client or retail client, as a matter of fact, down to the very end of a portfolio. Now, just to conclude and open up for Q&A, I wanted to stress what are the application, therefore, that you can have within the investment world. Asset allocation, first of all, tactical and strategic, and this is exactly what we're doing with the team at Momentum. Portfolio construction, down to the final portfolio building, even the portfolio for retail clients as well. Okay, of course, stress test scenario, simulating different, what if scenario at scale, portfolio construction, forecasting, and so on and so forth. Of course, the differences between a technology, this is just a visual representation. It's not a chat. You don't interact with the chat. It's not ChatGPT, but you interact with a mathematical tool. Lastly, before I open up for Q&A, I wanted to give you a glimpse on what is the future of man and human working together in this complex space, which is the investment world. The future is where these two technology, analytical AI and generative AI, are actually working together. I said this at the beginning, right? Analytical AI is the stuff that really matters in finance. This technology looks at a ton of data, try to decompose, find patterns, and provide insights. Generative AI gets text, produces images, and the example that I showed you before. So how can these two technology work better together and closer together? What is the opportunity here? The opportunity is really to enhance how we interact with this technology by doing this. The analytical AI produces a signal. This signal is decomposed with a series of notebook and technology into a pre-digested format, which can be fed into a generative AI to, for example, reply a complex question, which is, why do I have this instrument in my portfolio? Or why is the model making this decision? Now, we all know that to work closely together with a colleague, I have to trust the colleague. To work closer together with the technology, I have to trust the technology. How do you build that trust? It's quite complicated. But if we're able to connect a generative AI, which is converting numbers into words effectively, then suddenly both the investment professionals, such as the CIO, etc., are able to ask questions relating to why is the model suggesting this one, and the AI can unfold a little bit what's the decision, what's driving that decision, but also down to the reporting phase, having things such as automated commentary on portfolios. Imagine if you're meeting a client, and before that meeting, you go in and you already have an automated comment on that specific portfolio, written by a technology that has decomposed that output and translated that into bullet point in English. Then, of course, you can overlook, but think how much better your job is, right? And how you do this is complex. I'm just simplified here, but the really important thing is really understanding how the data flows. You've got these complex systems that are processing a ton of data, so you gotta split it into a pipeline, split it into a series of steps where you can always track what's going on, so that all these steps can be fed into a GPT engine to convert it into English text. Where are we today? Today we're at a stage in which we're able to create autonomous comment. We can ask basis question in which we can say, why do I have this instrument in my portfolio? And we're at a stage in which we can kind of explain a little bit why. But you don't have to think of what we can do today. You have to think what we will be able to do in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. If you think about it, 15 years ago, we didn't have an iPhone. We couldn't make a photo of this nice landscape and share it with my wife in a second, right? Or call a friend just 15 years ago, okay? Now we pay with our phone, etc., etc. Think how much all of this can be integrated in different use cases within each one's process. And with this, I would stop and open up for questions. Thank you.